Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. And yes, today we're gonna talk about the Helmo Guardian, Chung. I think most of you know that Chung is the son of Helbert. He joins the Elsword party and tries to save his father. But a lot of you didn't know that Chung is just his nickname. The word Chung is literally the color of blue in Korean. His real name is actually Prince Seeker. So Chung is another character that's good for a new player or alts. His system is pretty straightforward. It's quite similar to Ara. So most of Chung's skills require ammo to active. He can recharge ammo by command attack, certain skills, or just reload automatically when out of combat. And he is heavily relies on the waking mode. He enters the Berserker mode at 3rd beat awaking. Meanwhile, his supply of ammo will be infinite. Also, he will get damage and different passive buff, depends on which path of Chung is. So first path, Comet Crusader. CC is one of the most wanted support in all raids now. When you go to the party list, you'll see a bunch of people looking for CC or CET. I mean, that's really understandable. Super armor is quite important for raids. And CC also got really good support or utilities. CC is actually very tanky. His passive gives him good amount of defensive power. And he is quite easy to gather the Awakening beads due to his passive. I actually don't find him challenging, until I hit the dungeon beyond Aeronaut. His clearing is actually okay, but his bossing damage is really felt off if compared within the chunks. He got some good aerial clearing skills. With Giant Potion, clearing is actually quite easy, but all of his skills damage is quite low in R rate. Personally, I haven't seen any CC DPS ever since I joined this game. And when it comes to mana management, he's giving me real pain. Low mana refund with big usage of mana. His skills casting is pretty fast. You better bring a lot of pots with you when you're using him. But the support ability of him is actually the best within all chunks. He can give you extra shield with super armor effect, debuff removal, and defense debuff. Damage received debuff, defense debuff, and that 1.8 CD acceleration is just so good. Also, his master skill can freeze a little bit, making him a very useful support. He's a welcoming support, can easily farm raids for endgame content, good aerial clearing skills, and a fast skill caster. It's quite easy to pilot as well. His bossing is a downside of this class. I struggle a little bit when playing him solo at higher dungeons. The big mana usage is very frustrating too. I do think he needs some buff on that part. And you need to invest a lot of ERP for CD. Even he got the CDR passive. His skills have pretty high CD in general. Farming with him is not a good choice. I really think he needs to have a better mana resource since he is a support. And I think his bossing damage can be adjusted, even he is just a support. With that Berserker image he has, I assume he can do more damage. Second path, Fatal Phantom. I love to play FP. His mana management is just so good. He got great mana management due to his Berserker passive. Low CD and mana cost makes him very fun to play with. I mean, big mana costs from other classes or characters in this game are a real bummer in my opinion. FP skills effect is really cool. I enjoy to watch his skill animations. I think he is one of the best class for new players. He got really good buff and passive from Berserker Waking, and he can easily enter Berserker mode after 3rd job. His clearing is awesome. I'll give him 6 out of 5 for that, since not just good homing skills, but great CD as well. Bossing of him is really stable. With his shooter debuff, the damage is really good. Just pay attention when applying the debuff with your common attack. Great mana management. Low mana cost with low CD. I don't really mind to use some potion, when I can spam like 6 skills in a row. Supporting wise, he only got 1 buff skill, but the buff of magical attack and speed are really useful, so I will give him 3 out of 5. He has really stable performance on clearing, and the bossing size doesn't really affect his damage. Very stable and decent DPS in this meta. Low mana cost and CDR is really awesome, and also easily to stay iframe because of that. But somewhat he relies on shooter debuff to deal damage, which is fatal sometime if not iframing. And also some mob doesn't take debuff, and that makes him lost part of his damage. His major damaging skill has such a long casting animation, and sometimes got him in a weird precision after casting. But overall, FP is a very stable class. You can't really go wrong with him, since he's an all-around class. Third Path Centurion. CET is actually my first few character I bring to endgame content. I was attracted to this class because of that one skill, Carpet Bombing. CET early game is actually not that good, but personally I think 3rd job is where he started to bloom. His clearing became really good after 3rd job. Those linear clearing is just so satisfying to watch. I really like his playstyle with all those missiles and bombs. 3rd job passive boosts his damage by the amount of red cannonball he has. But his mana burns quite fast as well. Glad he got some mana refund when the passive hit it. His clearing is 3 to 5. Became stable after 3rd job. The recent nerf makes his damage fell off a bit. He was one of the top DPS not long ago, but that doesn't mean he is bad now. Bossing wise, he depends on the boss size, which makes him not too stable if compared within all the chunks. Also, micromanaging the red cannonball is annoying too. In raiding, supporting class that gives secondary resource would be critical if DPSing, so I will rate him 4 to 6. For the mana part, he got tactical feel and passive for the mana resources, but his mana usage is very high, so I will rate him 2 out of 5. TF is great for supporting. You can switch between the mod version for all-out support or the normal version for mobility. And the buff range is quite big too. Also, he got the damage buff and the magical defense debuff. I'll rate him 4 for supporting. He got some good linear clearing skills. Modded version of Carpet Bomb even follow paths and curves. Big damage on large bosses. Another welcoming support since he got the Party SA buff. He's quite a mana burner. It's not bad as CC, but it's still a bummer in my opinion. Mod Tactical View is really useful, but you can only cancel it after 4 seconds. It will turn to a fatal move if you didn't use it wisely. CET relies on the red cannonball in order to deal the max damage. Unlike FP, his bossing is somewhat depends on the party forming. But in general, I still like this class a lot. All this airstrike and bombing still make this class so likable. You should give him a try if you haven't already. All Chung classes don't require complex control or piloting, and all 3 of them quite easy to join a raids party in this meta. One of the good farming character for the endgame contents. I personally use him to farm quite often before Noah released. And I think I got my first FOJ jobs ever from my CET farming. So, what do you think of Chung? Will you guys try him out in game? Let me know on the comment section. Subscribe if you want to get the latest update and support this channel. I will see you all on next one.